back to another episode of the Comeback Crew. Today we have Gabe and Jaimie Dominelli here to talk with us. So first, what I'd like to do is just turn it over to you guys and have you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Gabe Dominelli, and I had my stroke on February 8th of 2024, and it's been ever since then. I uh, I was paralyzed on my left side, and that went away probably in about 3 weeks. And I went to Milwaukee. Um, uh, where did I go?
You went to a lot of places. And what
Yeah,
did you go to those places for?
speech therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So after your stroke, you went to a lot of rehab places across
a
the country.
lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And was that your first stroke?
no,
No.
no.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
In 2021, I had a stroke while I was asleep, and I couldn't figure it out. Um, and we called the doctor, and the doctor said, "Yep, you have a TIA,"
Okay.
which means nothing to me.
They chalked it up to stress. When we
Yeah,
went in there, they made jokes like, "Oh, you could take something for, you could smoke something for that. You're just stressed out. You just need," and at the time, I think we were both just so young and
Hmm.
working really hard in business. So
yeah,
we were like, you know what? Maybe it was just stress. We don't know. And there was no
You don't
reason
know
to
what you
think
don't know at that point.
otherwise. And it was your handwriting. I remember you saying like,
yeah.
feels
My handwriting, the way I brush my teeth, and my whole right side of my face was numb.
Hmm.
And we just at that time back in 2021, me too, I just kind of dismissed it. Family did.
Yeah,
We were just kind of like, that's a weird fluke. And we just kind of, it resolved on its own over time.
yep,
And yeah,
Yeah, I
yep,
mean, I think kind of what you said, where even physicians are, you know, kind of laughing it off. I think people, when they hear stroke, they oftentimes think of it as being something that affects older people. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
I did.
yeah. So, since you did have these strokes so young, obviously you had that experience with them kind of laughing it off. What's been your other experience in terms of having had a stroke so young?
Well, in 2023, um, uh, I just, my right side of my limb went numb. And I went, Jamie put me in the bathtub. So she went and carried me off into the bathtub.
I
Um,
wish I could say I carried you. I did not.
yeah,
We got there.
yeah. And I started getting feeling back in my leg, in my arm, in my face, and wouldn't you know it, I I went and lifted.
Well, can I add something in here?
Yeah.
Because I think it's important too for people to also understand how well you recovered from your really big stroke in 2024. So you had their stroke in 2021,
Hmm.
this mini TIA, we didn't know what's
Yeah.
going on. Who knows what's happened from then to 2023? 2023 in October was was the one where we go to the doctor again.
Hmm.
And it happens, you have this stroke and you basically collapse. And Gabe is the kind of person that just works really, really hard. He doesn't take no for an answer. He doesn't
Yep.
stop. If there's something in his way, he's going to find a way to bulldoze
Yep.
it over, run through it, go around it. And
Hmm.
I think that's an important detail because, like, I know we'll probably talk about your recovery, but I think that his just internal intestinal fortitude is a really big reason why he's recovered as well as he has
Hmm.
from that stroke that was
Yeah.
in February of 2024 when he was completely nonverbal.
Hmm.
Because it's just who you are and you haven't lost that. And so yeah, you had that stroke and it was just kind of like it'll be fine. I don't even know what it was, but it was kind of like, well, I don't think you should do that. And you're like, well, what am I going to do? Just
Yeah.
sit here is kind of the was kind of your thought for what am I going to do? Just sit here like I'm going.
Yeah.
I
And
love.
my leg was shaking because I didn't do bar. Uh, I did the leg press
Hmm.
machine, and my leg was,
Hmm.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
And
So, in 2024, I basically had this huge, massive stroke, and they put me in the hospital, and it stopped bleeding on its own.
Hmm.
And you want to say
well,
anything?
you weren't exact, yeah, because I mean your memory and everything is pretty
Yeah,
spotty. So Gabe's strokes kind of have to seem to have kind of a recurring pattern, sort of.
yeah,
And this one it was massive. It was a 7 by 4 hemorrhagic bleed
Oh,
right
wow.
in the Broca's area. So he had right side hemiparesis and had to learn, ended up with aphasia and
uh,
apraxia. And yeah, completely
yep,
couldn't make a sound. We're say the buh sound, and we were getting garbles, weren't
Hmm.
getting
really,
much of anything. We were in the hospital for about a month.
yeah,
And I mean, needless to say, it was completely life-changing for sure. And um, I think the first the first thing that the speech therapist came into the hospital room. And they were trying to have Gabe write, and you're holding your pen all funny, you can't figure out the letters are all squiggly, they're not making sense. And he writes on the piece of paper, well, we figure it out. It's Diane.
Hmm.
yeah.
And that's one of our team members.
Mhm.
He's
Okay.
going, what's going on with work? How are things going? And I am thinking, man, what is
I just had a stroke and you're thinking about
You're
that.
like, how's the business going? How are things going? And so Gabe and I ran
This was like 2 weeks.
2 weeks
Mhm.
Yeah,
after. And that's because Gabe and I ran a real estate business together.
yeah.
And
Where we wholesale houses, we flip houses, we um, take houses under a name, well, in an LLC's name. Uh, yeah, it it's just business.
Yeah.
do you still do that now?
Yeah,
I
yep.
think we talked a lot about, like, during Gabe's recovery, the meaning of saliency and doing things that are important to you. And I
Hmm.
think that's been
Mhm.
really cool to hear, like, when people will have a stroke or something. I think, and I don't know because I haven't had a stroke, but it's like, oh, well, there went all of that. I can't do that anymore. And Gabe just hasn't abandoned
Yep.
that. He's just like, we've tried to find ways, obviously, progression with his recovery.
Hmm.
In what
With
way?
progression.
Yeah. In what way can you be involved?
Hmm.
Right. And it looks
Yeah,
different 2.5 years in now than it,
yeah.
when for a long time you didn't do any
Shit.
anything because it just we weren't there, but we find, little ways, what does make sense, what's a repeatable task, what is something we
Hmm.
can put notes up on the wall and write scripts out,
Yep.
um and you get to practice your speech not just by going to speech therapy, but like
And it
working.
wears me out.
I can imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing a lot, and kind of going back to what you guys were saying earlier with that attitude you had of just, full steam ahead. I think that coupled with you working on something that matters to you, that's huge. And, Jaimie, you're right. A lot of people, I think, have a stroke and maybe have that, I can't do this type of attitude anymore. And unfortunately, they might be told that by, a doctor. You guys might have heard that, or, oh,
I
you can't move the right side anymore. So now we have to do, X, Y, or Z, or you can't talk. So now here's what we have to do. And, I tell people that I work with to have that attitude, don't give up, do what you want to do, let's figure out a way to make that happen. So
Mhm.
you're already putting in the work.
they told her
Mhm.
that they told her that he got he's got 3 months and that's it.
Hmm.
3 months to 6 months and that's donezo.
To get your speech back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
And
surprised to hear
little
that a
did
lot.
little did they know about neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's darn right. And that's so, I mean, I was like 3 to 6 months. Oh my gosh, we gotta get moving. So I got on YouTube and we were just kind of making stuff up until
Yeah.
we could get him to, a good therapist and
Mhm.
stuff. But
Yeah. And what did I do to save yourself, my sister, and my dad?
wait, can you repeat that?
What did I do to save myself, my sister, and your dad? Uh, my dad.
To save?
We drove
Mm,
across the country.
we sure did.
Yeah.
We're in Utah,
Hmm.
and it was just Gabe and I at the time of his stroke. Obviously, call his folks, his sister's out, in 48 hours. People, immediate family kind of start trickling in because it was pretty serious.
I
Hmm.
was knocked out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and so his family lives in Delaware.
Hmm.
So we're not going to fly him there. So we just I mean, Gabe was in pretty critical condition even when we were discharged. I mean, I remember being discharged going, it was so scary just as a care partner going, what am I going to do?
Hmm.
I
Did
don't
they
know.
did they discharge you guys home after the hospital, or did they send you to rehab for a little
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah.
So we did talk about inpatient rehab. There's a bunch of back and forth about insurance and things like that.
But
Gabe's,
mine wouldn't cover it.
it wouldn't cover it. You were relatively ambulatory. There was a lot of occupation. If he would have been admitted, it would have been for
Yeah.
occupational and speech.
Hmm.
So there were quite a few things going on there, but ultimately he just came home.
Okay.
Um, Looking back now, I think he probably could have done some inpatient, but you don't know what you don't know,
Yeah.
right? And so you were discharged home, and then me, him, his sister, Gabe, and his dad, we got a camper van, one of the
Hmm.
just those campers, and
Hmm.
Gabe slept basically the whole way. It was like a
Slaps.
I don't know how many Vegas we drove and got him
Slaps.
all the way to Delaware.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Wow.
moved in with his parents for a little
Okay.
bit.
And so now, since we've kind of talked about like what happened right after you went home, talk to me about some of the therapy that you have done. What does that, piece of your journey look like?
Well, I went to Bryn Mawr
Hmm.
That was for the first 3 months. And then I went to Milwaukee, Chicago, um, uh, Brook, Brooks, um, Missoula, Denver, and then Brooks.
Okay.
And so, and what were all those places you went to? What are those called?
2 to 6 week therapy.
Yeah, so Gabe was doing just your regular therapy where you go see a speech therapist locally.
Hmm.
Gabe's always been, 3 times a week. And then we found out about programs called ICAPs, those intensive
Hmm.
aphasia programs.
And
And
they are pricey.
they're very expensive.
Yeah.
Most of them are very expensive. I think we went to one that was hosted at a university and
Hmm.
you get a much deeply discounted rate because they're students and
Yeah.
they're still great, but there is something to be said about a 6 week intensive speech program that is intensive. It's
Yep.
one-on-one tailored to Gabe. They are expensive, but I will say I can't imagine what Gabe's recovery would have looked like without
Hmm.
those programs. It's been worth it.
Yeah.
And Gabe did fortunately have the opportunity to go to quite a few of those, and I think they've been really helpful in his recovery. So then he would go to these big programs anywhere from, 2, 3, up to 6 weeks, get discharged, come back home.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks.
And then your therapists would talk and you basically pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
Um, I think I always like to mention that I think an interesting part of Gabe's recovery was not only that we've met some beautiful human beings, some amazing therapists,
Yeah.
but one of my favorite things that I saw when Gabe progressed was not just in the speech therapy room,
Hmm.
but was at home. And we had a couple of our team members, and I'm going to talk about when you started talking to Mark and Diane and you
Yeah.
started leading
Yeah.
your own meeting. And I was like, you know what? I pay them, we pay them. And Gabe was leading a meeting and Gabe just started jumping in. How did you feel the first few times? Did you have any?
I struggled. Struggled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually now your meetings are a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
And I saw this really big jump. And I don't know what it was, if it was timing or if it was because you were just taking ownership of not repeating in a classroom setting, but it was really cool
That's
to
awesome.
see that
Those are the best ones. Like you said, it's great when it happens in the therapy room, but
happen
you
at
Yeah.
want
home.
it to happen. You want to hear that the person you're working with is leading their own meetings and doing all these things. So that's
Mhm.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. As far as ICAPs go, because to my knowledge, you guys are the first ones in the comeback crew who've talked about ICAPs. Is that something that you would recommend for other stroke survivors?
Absolutely.
Then
Absolutely.
I would say even if you, do you mind if I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
I made a spreadsheet too. If anybody wants anything,
Yeah.
I called every single one in the country. The United States is the only one that has all of these. I think there's
Um, it's, uh, it's, um, British Columbia and
I
Montreal.
think there's one in Canada and one in the UK.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and so I went through and looked at price, the amount of all of the different factors. And I think it is something, if somebody's looking into an ICAP, we're happy to talk about it. It is a lot. It
Hmm.
is some of the programs will offer grants, some of them won't. If I'm not a fan, I'm not saying like put it on a credit card or whatnot, but they'll take them in installments. I am just saying that, I mean, it's expensive, anywhere from five up to $25,000 per program.
35.
Well, 30, would you say it's 35 if you include your stay?
Yep.
So when you have to
Yep.
also budget for
Hotel and all.
hotel, if you have a car, right? All of those different factors
Yep.
as well. But I would say even if somebody only did one, if you look and you divide up the amount that you're spending per hour if you're having to pay out of pocket, because I think that's something other people run into as well, is insurance only covers a certain amount of
Yeah.
sessions. And then boop, there you go. And so if you're somebody that's starting to budget per hour
Hmm.
by session, it's not astronomical. It's because you're taking all of that and you're cramming it down into a short period of time.
Yeah.
I personally think that it's worth it, even if somebody only does one, or if you can only go to a university-led one. Sometimes you can get to those ones for free or as low as like $1,500
Hmm.
because,
No, no, no,
okay, well,
no.
we could call and figure it out. But
Uh, 4 grand, 5 grand. Yeah.
sure. And so if somebody were to do that, it could be worth it because you get so much feedback so quickly
Hmm.
because they're able to spend that therapist and group of therapists is able to spend
Yeah.
so much time with that person, and then they give you this huge report and then you get a home program,
Hmm.
and it-
Sometimes not.
yeah.
Yeah.
um yeah, if I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm personally a big advocate. Like Gabe said, he
Yep.
mentioned Brooks twice. We went back to that one a second time. We loved it so much.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. What kind of things, for the ones that were having you do home programs, what kind of things were they having you do to tie into the ICAP itself?
Uh,
I know he's gonna grab this. We work out of this binder. So this is his 2026 binder.
Okay.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
your binder would not be like my binder. It's highly individual.
Yep.
And Gabe's binder from this year is different than his binder from last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
highly tailored. There is not a like a what would you call it? Like a duplicatable. It's not a
Yeah.
standard program.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I love that. That's tapping into that neuroplasticity that we talked about earlier. So that's awesome.
Hmm.
Yep.
Hmm.
All right. At what point of, your recovery journey did you guys find constant therapy, and how's that been?
Um, hmm.
Do you remember?
No.
You probably don't remember because I was the one doing just a lot of the trying to
Yeah.
find things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We found constant therapy. I would say I remember being at your folks' house, so that means we were
Yeah.
probably in the first 6 months of
Yeah.
our journey, so pretty early on, and it occurred just out of sheer just research and trying to find out just I was willing to do anything,
Hmm.
so just kind of searching, and I don't remember exactly where I found it, if I found it through another app or through like the aphasia.
Yeah.
I think I probably found it, or it could have come from an ICAP, maybe. It Now that I think about it, it could have come from your first ICAP, and they
Yeah.
might have suggested it.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been great. Anything, all of these programs, I think they fit in where they're supposed to fit in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, let's kind of shift gears away from recovery because I know that you said right at the very beginning when you and I first started talking, you want to get your name out there. You're starting to take all of this to social media.
Yeah.
Um, how's that been going? Tell us about, that part of your journey.
I got like 2,000 followers.
Hmm.
Um, and little do you know, but I got a bunch of SLPs posting all my videos. Yeah.
Awesome. So like reposting your stuff to a wider network.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Do you find the social media process, has that been therapeutic for you? Is it, tell us about that.
You it used to be. Um, and started uh started out it was going every day. At Brooks at when I got home. It's since I've been um hmm, since I've been working on my stuff
Hmm.
every day, I tend to post once every 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was therapeutic, but now kind of that you're getting back into your normal rhythm, it's
Yep.
not as frequent that you're posting. Is that kind of a nice way to sum it
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
All right. Do you feel like you've found, I know you'd mentioned having the SLPs reposting your stuff, but do you feel like you found a good community on social media?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that. Like what's that aspect been like?
Um, it's been all right. Um, you had Hannah posting, um, and a lot of SLPs. Um, yeah, and it's been good, but I think that's not where my focus is right now.
Is your focus more on your business related?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, that's awesome still though. Like you said earlier, you did so much to find those ways to kind of come back and now you're leading meetings and doing all that. So that makes sense. You put in that much work. You're gonna want to focus on that. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Um, let's talk about this. If you were able to reach someone who was in a similar circumstance, maybe at the beginning of their recovery journey, what would you tell them as far as advice? Or, another way to think about it, if you could go back and tell yourself something at the beginning of your recovery journey, what would you say?
ICAP. I, I,
Yeah.
it's it's the works of ICAP,
Hmm.
and from Milwaukee to Chicago to Brooks to Denver to Brooks again. It's a progression of ICAPs.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there hasn't been um 3 to 4 months of me not going to an ICAP.
Hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then do you like thinking of somebody though, let's say maybe ICAP's not like in their world right now,
Yeah.
but if you think of like if you were to go back and tell yourself something or tell somebody else something that's been going through this, what would you tell them? Like assuming they can't go to,
Speech therapy 2 hours a day. And no lie.
you mean like even at home?
Yeah. Yeah. Speech therapy 5 or 6 or 7 times 2 hours a day.
So that's something we didn't mention either. Between ICAPs, especially in the beginning,
Yep.
I mean, Gabe and I did therapy every day.
Hmm.
For a year,
Yeah.
a
For
year and a half.
hours if we could, as
Yeah.
much as he wanted to go or it was appropriate, it it was repetition and showing up even if he didn't need
Repetition,
to.
repetition, repetition.
I mean, you're hitting on so many of those neuroplastic principles. I mean, repetition, intensity, doing a lot of great things. I mean, you can tell that's one thing I'm taking away from our discussion is you guys have definitely put in the work.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think that that's part of it is that, yeah, it is not, it is hard. I
Mhm.
mean, it is hard. Some of those sessions,
Some of them I would go to class and then fall asleep for 2 hours
Mhm.
a
yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recovery can be exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. And wake up and go to class and repeat the whole process once over
Mhm.
again.
In the beginning, yeah, Gabe wasn't doing therapy independently, and then as
Yeah.
things progressed, we found ways, what can Gabe do independently? And then obviously over time, it started to shift,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and now Gabe does most all of his therapy he can do. And then obviously it's important for you to get support as well. But we've got things up on mirrors, and have a situation.
Now, not right now.
Well, because we're moving.
Yeah.
We had to take
Because
it.
of moving.
Yeah, we had to take it all down.
Yeah.
But once we get to our new place, I mean, it's just don't come in our house if you don't want to see speech stuff up on the wall. Because like you're gonna have
Yep.
facial diagrams up on the wall, like easily accessible. It's just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking to the right guy. I love that. I try to instill that attitude in people I work with. So talking to the right guy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the move. You guys are moving in the process of moving to Delaware. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. And we just sold our house. Uh, luckily, luckily sold our house. Um, and we're moving October 6th, 8th.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah,
About about 4 to 6 weeks ish.
yeah.
Um, gonna go back. Do you want to talk about why we're moving back?
For family. Um, mean, you can't take away this beautiful mountain view.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just undescribable. And we go back.
It's okay. It's all right. But you've got a really great network and support
Yeah,
system there.
yeah,
The fact is that like stroke changes things. It doesn't just change, it changes the person who had the stroke, it changes the relationships that they have, it changes the way
yeah.
that they show up in work, it changes how they are able to socialize, whether it's because of any sort of, is it a
Oh,
physical,
oh, you haven't mentioned those jobs I put in for.
what, like last year when you were applying?
Yeah,
Oh, do you want to talk about that?
yeah.
Okay.
I would. I was gonna say I put in for jobs,
Mhm.
uh, 20 to 25 hours a week.
Mhm.
Um, it's my max capacity. And just because of my stroke, I couldn't get in a place.
Or they wouldn't even return your calls, or would you get to an interview and they would just say no? What kind of happened?
Uh, they just said no. No, 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 no. So that kind of pissed me off.
I can imagine it would.
Yeah, and that's why I'm coming back strong or than ever. And I will get this mobile home park under contract. I will get this um lead under contract. I already did.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had to go around and around and around to pick the certain spots that we wanted.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, Eastern PA is where um, Harrisburg to um, Philadelphia
Hmm.
is where I'm going.
Excellent.
If you hang out too long, you're gonna talk about real estate.
Yeah,
So like that's just kind of what happens.
yeah.
Just
So I mean, I'm
FYI.
I'm in the middle of my own real estate journey right now. So
Amazing. We'll have to talk about it.
oh, it's
But
that's a whole other conversation.
it is. Um, but I think, yeah, so like we're moving back east in because it just changes everything. Like our social
Yeah.
circle that was, it just looks different as much as you want it.
And that is a red state. And that is a red
Are we
state.
going back to real estate again?
Yep.
I know.
I think be careful what I ask.
I know. You're going to be talking about real estate.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh, so we can come back, but Jamie, I do wanted to hear more what you're saying as far as like it changes dynamics and all of
Yep.
that. So
Yeah, I mean, I think as Gabe's wife, and just being here, I've tried really hard to do what I can to, it's almost to try and make it normal. But the
mhm.
fact of the matter is when you're doing that,
It's not normal.
it's not normal.
Yeah.
And it's just challenging, especially I'm going to kind of speak sort of on your behalf, but or not, but it can be hard because a lot of the people, especially since we're transplants here in Utah, we've always worked really hard, so we didn't have a really big social network.
Mhm.
Um,
None.
and it can be hard
None.
when, especially if people don't know you pre-stroke. So
Mhm.
there can be a distancing between family, between friends.
Yeah.
People that you think are going to show up don't. The people that you don't think are going to show up, that you don't even know that well, do.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's kind of heartbreaking, but beautiful at the same time because you see parts of humanity. But for me, I try to just kind of hold it together and try to make it as normal as it once was, and it's not how it works. And I think that's also part of the
Yeah. You're working by yourself.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
instance, we ran a business together, and I went through my own challenges after Gabe's stroke, and the business dwindled, and then ultimately,
Um, um, what happened?
I don't know.
Um, she quit the
Oh,
business.
yeah, I
Mhm.
did. I kind of so Gabe's stroke was February of 2024.
Mhm.
December of 2024, I quit. We
Mhm.
were still living. We had at
Uh, um, March of 2024, she quit the whole thing.
Mhm.
And maybe was about May or June 15th.
I said, I'm coming back, baby.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because it was trying to hold it all together was really hard.
Mhm.
Maintain some semblance of normalcy, but then all of a sudden you're doing all this speech therapy and things like that. And the fact is like Gabe said, it's just not normal.
Mhm.
Uh, and understanding that our business is going to look different. Gabe was the main driver of that. I would do a lot in
Yeah.
the business also, but he was like the engine and I was the caboose. Well, the
Mhm.
caboose ain't going anywhere without the engine. And so the fact is that I had to learn to step into a new role and I'm still trying to figure that out. And Gabe, the way that he is now is significantly different than post-stroke 3 months in, even a year in, even a year and a half in.
Uh,
You've
2.5 years in.
Yeah, you're 2.5 years in now,
Yeah,
but your progress over like every 6 month chunk is a lot, would you say?
yeah,
Yeah. But it changes everything. It changes the way we socialize.
Mhm.
Like we don't go out late in the evening. We also usually aren't planning something where we're going to spend a whole afternoon with people. Um,
it's because I don't drink.
Mhm.
So yeah, so what you do with your friends changes.
Yep.
Then
Mhm.
the energy and the bandwidth, maybe there's just too much going on. Your interests change. What you value in life
No,
change. No, it's
no.
changed for me. Yeah,
No, no,
no.
no.
So have your relationships changed?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the reason why we talk about moving back to some of those old friends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, it's different than meeting new people.
Yeah, they're the ones who've known you longer. They want to show up because they know who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Y-
Yeah.
Right. And reestablishing that connection back in your home base area with people who know you, love you, support you, Gabe is really blessed that he does. I think it's just because you're so amazing. You have so many people that love you. So there's a lot of people that have, some people say that their network completely disappears. That's has not been true
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Uh,
awesome that you guys have that because I mean, that's another critical part is having that network. So
mhm.
awesome. I have one more question for you, and let's end on a positive note. And I know we've had some positive, gems as we've been talking, but if you had to say, was there one thing that was the most positive that's come out of your stroke journey, what would you say that is?
Faith, faith, and hope.
Going through this has
Hope.
strengthened those for you?
Yeah. And I will believe I should be back in a year or two. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Maybe longer. Just
I think that that you have that mentality of you will be back. That
yeah,
right there, that's you need that attitude.
yeah, yeah. Um, mm, I will say this. Mm, Right after I'm done, I will go up and work for maybe 3, 4 hours, and then I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out.
Mhm.
Yeah. So maybe three.
See how far you get.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you guys both for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and hearing your story. And hopefully we can cross paths again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.